各位同学们，大家早上好。同学们，请问可以听到我吗？有没有声音？Okay, very good morning to everyone. I'm Sun here, Sun Tek Heng. Okay, we are going to begin our workshop for this morning. May I know, can you all hear me? If you all can hear me, can I see you all raise your hand? So, 假如你们可以听到我，你们可以把你的手举起来吗 ？OK， 谢谢你。OK， 说假如你们不能听到我，就给我那个给我看那个 open mouth 的脸的 emoji，OK， 可以听到我就给我一个举手听不到我就给我那个 emoji 的 open mouth 的 emoji 的脸。OK， 谢谢大家。OK， 我们要开始了。所以今天我们就会看我们的 workshop fundamentals。哎呀，我还是个什么？OK， 我现在 share 我的 screen。OK， 学生你们可以看到我的 screen 吗？假如可以看到我的 screen 请举手；看不到就给我那个 open mouth 的 emoji。OK， 谢谢大家 ，Thank you。OK， 我是Sun Tek Heng， 所以今天我们会看我们的 topic 就是 conditional statements and iteration。所以我相信大家已经有经验过OK，you all have experience before this所以你们还记得吗？你们最后一次接触到这个 conditional statement 是几时？When is the last time you all came across these conditional statements? Can I know? 学生们有谁可以跟我讲？你们最后一次有接触到这个 conditional statements 是几时？OK 学生们，谢谢。其实 I do not know whether you all realize or not. Actually, we have just encountered these conditional statements just this morning, just now, recently. Only recently we encountered this. Remember just now I asked you all whether you all can hear my voice. If you all can hear my voice, what did I ask you all to do? I asked you all to raise your hand. But I also mentioned, if you all cannot hear my voice, then what did I ask you all to do? I asked you all to show the open mouth emoji. So you can see this is actually a conditional statement, right? This is a type of conditional statements in which there is a condition. What is the condition here? The condition is if you are able, can you hear my voice? You see? So if you can hear my voice, you do something. If you are not able to do my work, if you are not able to hear my voice, you will do something else. Of a conditional statement. Okay, students, if you all have this webcam, can you all open your webcam and then wave your hand like that? Okay, wave your hand. Okay, so do not stop waving your hand until I ask you to do so. All right. So that will be so you will be continuously waving your hand, waving a hand you to do so. All right. Yeah. Okay. So you wave your hand like that. Okay. Non-stop waving it until I ask you to do so. All right. Until I ask you to stop. So that will be a type of repetition, right? Repetition. Or if I ask you, okay, stand up, everyone, stand up now, and start jumping. Okay, start jumping up and down until while you are jumping. Okay, count. All right. Every time you jump out, you count. Count one. You jump again. You count 2, 3, 4 until you have jumped 10 times. Then you can sit down. Now, this is again a conditional statement, right? Again, a conditional statement in which I ask you to jump for 10 times. All right. Okay, so you all can turn off your camera. Thank you very much, student. Continue to share my screen. All right. So iteration means you do something repeatedly. All right. You do something repeatedly, non-stop, such as just now I mentioned. Okay. You all wave your hand continuously to wave your hand. Okay. So I didn't put any condition there, right, to ask you all to stop waving your hand. So you continue to wave until you become very, very tired. All right. So therefore, if you have an iteration, there must be a condition. I must say there must be a condition so that you are able to stop repeating, doing the same thing again and again and again and again. Such as just now I mentioned, okay, you stand up and you start to jump. Okay, jump for 10 times. So I give you a condition to repeatedly to jump, all right, up and down, but you only jump for 10 times, okay, not more than that. So there is a stopping condition. So for iteration, remember, very important to have the stopping condition so that you do not continuously doing it non-stop. If you are doing it non-stop, continuously, we'll call that an infinite loop. Okay, infinite loop. So in this session 1, we are going to look at the conditional statements and iteration. The different type of performing this iteration, such as the while loop, do while loop, and the for loop. Okay, and during the session 2, we'll look at some program examples. Okay, like last week, we'll look at some program examples. So conditional statements. Okay, so this will be a selection. All right, you have to make a selection. So what we have done last week is we are performing a linear sequence of operations. If you still recall what we have, what I've mentioned last week, for you to be able to write a program, you only need to know 3 things. First thing is sequence. Okay, a linear sequence. Second is selection. The third one will be repetition. Only these 3 things. If you can grasp these 3 things well, you are able to put them together in the correct place, okay, in the correct logic, and build your program. All right. So last week you look at linear sequence. It means that for linear sequence, it means you have line by line. Okay. One statement after the next step, then the next statement, then the next statement, and then the next statement in sequence. Okay, one after another. Okay, in sequence. But today we are going to look at selection. So for selection, when you execute the program, there will be a point where the program must decide, must make a decision, all right, whether to do A or to do B. Okay, meaning that whether to do the statement, whether to do statement the following statement or do some other statements. You see, so the decision, and then the third one will be for condition, you can make use of if else, or you can make use of the switch case statements, which we are going to look at later. So expression, just now expression I've already mentioned for you. Expression, for example, I say, okay, if you are hungry, that's an expression, right? Hungry. So, or if you cannot hear my voice, so that's an expression, right? So with that expression, you will check the expression whether the condition for the expression, is it true or is it false. So if the condition is true, let's say I say, okay, if you are hungry, all right, so and you are really hungry, so then the condition is true, you do something. Okay, maybe go and grab a bread and eat the bread. Okay, so or if the condition is false, that means you're not hungry, then take out your C++ book and start reading. So you can see that, okay, you make a comparison, all right, you see whether the condition, is it true or is it false. So how do we represent this type of condition? We can use the flow chart. So like I mentioned to you all last week, if you still remember, flow chart is something that graphical. Okay, so you can see it's graphical, so that it's easy for us to understand, for everyone to understand. So it's not particularly that you must know how to write program, or you must know programming in order for you to understand this program flowchart. Anyone can understand the program flowchart, but the only thing is you must know the meaning of the symbol. For example, this symbol, okay, this diamond symbol here, you know that this is for to make a decision. Okay, it represents making a decision. So if the condition is you do something, if the condition is false, then you continue. All right, you continue with the rest of the program. Now over here we have a two-way selection. That means the condition can be either true or the condition can be false. If the condition is true, you do something. If the condition is false, you do something else. Okay, so just like I said just now, your expression will be, are you hungry? If yes, you are hungry, get yourself a bread and eat the bread. If you are not hungry, then get yourself a C++ book and start reading the C++ book. So there are two conditions here, either true or false. Now you can say you can make use of this flowchart for drawing some other things that is not programming related. Okay, maybe you can think of some other scenarios, anything. You can make use of flowchart to indicate the logic, the logic of the thing. So it makes it easy for us to understand, okay, what you want the program to do. All right, when we make use of this flowchart to represent your program. Okay, so here for one-way selection, for example, I say if score is greater than or equal to 90, grade is A. You see? So what is the condition here? The condition is this is your expression, right? So your expression is your score, is it greater than or equal to 90? So you check your score. So if you check your score and you find out your score, oh, you score 95 marks, then your grade is A grade. Okay. So you see, this is not a programming. Yeah, we don't write programming. It's not a particular programming language. This is what you call just a pseudocode. All right, a pseudocode, because it's very similar to your programming language, but it's not really using a proper programming syntax. So this is not a C++ program. It's not a Java program. Just a normal language, what we call it as a pseudocode. Like in this case here, we have two-way selection. We'll check whether you have more than the purchase, is it more than 200 ringgit Malaysia. So if the purchase is more than 200 ringgit Malaysia, you get 20% discount. Else means if your purchase is not more than 200 ringgit Malaysia, then you'll get a 10% discount. Relational operators. Okay, so for relational operators, you can see the operator will be here. You may be thinking, hey, what is this? How come equal sign equal? This in C++, this double equality, equal. It means to check whether are they equal or not. Is the value inside the variable score, is it the same as 100? So in other words, is score equal to 100? So if your score is equal to 100, let's say you in your test, right? In your MX test, you score 100. So then this condition here will be true. Okay, and it is bravo, full score. But let's say you score 95 marks for your MX, then this condition here is false. So if the condition is false, then it will not show this bravo full score. Okay, so that is your equality comparison. This one you can see here is exclamation equal. Exclamation equal, it means not equal. The exclamation, the meaning of an exclamation is it means not. So not equal. So if day is not equal to weekend, then you must study. So let's say, for example, the day is Monday. So Monday is not the weekend, and therefore you must study. But if the day is Sunday, like today is a Sunday, right? So it is a weekend. So this condition, day not equal to weekend, the condition will be false. So if the condition is false, then you don't have to study. Okay. So if the day is Monday not equal to weekend, right? Your weekend means Saturday and Sunday lah. So if the day Monday is not equal to weekend, then you can see that the condition is true. So if the condition is true, then you must study. Okay. So for example, another example I give you. If the day is Tuesday, is Tuesday not equal to weekend? Yes, Tuesday is not a weekend, right? Because your weekend is Saturday and Sunday. So Tuesday is not a weekend, which means that this condition here, day not equal to weekend, the condition is true. So since the condition is true, you must study. Okay. Now look at another example. For this operator here, this is a less than operator. So we can check, is the score less than 40? Let's say you obtain a score of 28. So the score 28 is less than 40, right? So the condition is true. And because the condition is true, you fail the test. Okay, it will tell you that you failed the test. But if you get a score 60, now you can see that the score 60 is not less than 40. In fact, 60 is greater than 40, right? So this means the condition score less than 40 is false. So if the condition is false, you will not see the message, fail the test. You won't see this message. Okay, you won't see this message. Next, we have less than equal to. So the condition that we are going to check is Is it height less than or equal to 135 centimeter? Now, look here. If your height is 128 centimeter, can you tell me, is this condition true or false? If your height is 128 centimeter, is this condition here, height less than equal to 135 centimeter, is it true or is it false? Can you tell me in the chat box? Yeah, good, very good, well done. So if your height is in fact 128 centimeter, so 128 centimeter is in fact less than 135 cm. So which means that this condition here is true. Okay, therefore you are not allowed to play the roller coaster. On the other hand, if let's say your height is 170 centimeter, then you can see that 170 centimeter is not less than or equal to 135 centimeter, and therefore this condition will be false. Okay, it will be false. Therefore, you will be allowed to play the roller coaster. Next, we have this greater than. Okay, so we check for the condition. Is it greater than? Is the price greater than RM 199? So if your price is 210 ringgit, which is greater than RM 199, you'll get a 20% discount. But if your price is 198 ringgit, so which is not greater than 199, you won't get the 20% discount. Now another one will be we check for greater than or equal to. So if your score is greater than or equal to 90, you get a A+ grade. So your grade is A+. Now you can see here, if the score is 95, so 95 is greater than equal to 90. 95 is greater than 90. So this condition here, score greater than equal to 90 is true, and therefore your grade is A+. But if your score is 80, 80 is not greater than 90. So this condition, score greater than equal to 90, will be false. Okay, it will be false, and therefore your grade is not an A+. Okay, so here is another example. So if your score is greater than 0 and score is less than 40. Now, how many conditions here? There are two conditions here that you need to check. The first condition is that you must make sure that your score is greater than 0. Right? Is your score greater than 0? The second condition that you need to check is your score less than 40? Okay? So if your score is greater than 0, and also your score is less than 40, let's say you get a score of 35. 35 means your score is greater than 0, right? And 35 is also means that your score is less than 40, so you fail the test. Okay, and now the second example. If day is Sunday or day is Saturday, then it is weekend. It means what? It means that, let's say you check, you look at the day can be either Saturday or it can be Sunday, right? If it is Saturday, it is a weekend. If it is Sunday, it is also a weekend. So these two conditions here, if it is Sunday, yeah, it is a weekend. Or if it is a Saturday, then yes, it is also a weekend, right? So that is why we use an or comparison here. Either one, it means either one is true, then the condition is true. All right, either one. So in other words, in the plain English, I will say that if the day is either Saturday or Sunday, then it is a weekend. So that will be in our plain English, right? Okay, next, logical operators. Okay, next we look at logical operators. Okay, if you all have, do you all have any questions before we proceed to logical operators? If you all have questions, you all can turn your mic on and let me know. Are you all okay? Can we proceed? Okay, so we look at logical operators, yeah. So logical operators, we have this, okay, you can see this exclamation mark. Exclamation mark operator, it means not, yeah, not. Now, for example, you say score less than 40, but you have an exclamation mark in front, it means not. So if not, score less than 40. So let's say you score 70 marks. Is 70 marks less than 40? Yes. Or less than 40 is true. But don't forget, there is a not in front. Yeah, there's a not in front. So not true. Yeah, not true means false. So since the condition is, your score. So if your score is 70, so score 70, is it less than 40? No, it's not, right? So 70 is not less than 40. So which means that the condition is false. But you don't forget there is a not in front. Not false, it means true. Okay, not false, it means true, the opposite. So which means that you pass the test law. But if your score is 38, so you look at the condition again, score less than 40, yeah. So is 38 less than 40? Yes, 38 is less than 40. So the condition is true. In front, not true means false. So if it is false, that means you will not execute this statement. You will not execute the statement, pass the test. Okay. So if your score is 70, 70 is less than 40, the condition is false. The expression is false. Not false, it means true. So you execute the next statement, which is pass the test. But if their score is 38, 38 less than 40, the expression is true. Not true becomes false. So it will not execute the expression, pass the test. Now the next one, we have the operator double N, yeah? N. It means we check for the N condition. So you look at the first expression. The first expression is your score greater than equal to 75. Condition, you see we use N. It means that the first expression must be true, and also okay, excuse me. So it means that the first expression must be true and the second expression must also be true. So both, in other words, both expression 1 and expression 2, both of them must be true, then only your grade is A minus. So with that in mind, can we check for this one? If the student got the score of 78, is it a grade A minus? Based on this condition, score greater than equal to 75 or less than 80 is the grade for the score 78 and A minus score and A minus grade. So you can see that 78 is greater than 75. So the first expression is true. Okay, the first expression is true. Then 78, okay, 78 is not, 78 is in fact less than 80. So the second expression is also true. So the first expression is true and the second expression also true. Then the entire thing is true, because true and true, the entire thing is true, so the grade is A minus. But let's say you get a score of 90. Is 90 greater than or equal to 75? All right, so the first expression is false. How about the, sorry, is 90 greater than 75? Yes, so the first expression is true. Then we look at the second expression here. Is 90 less than 80? No, it's not right. 90 is not less than 80. So the second expression is false. So you can see the first expression is true, but the second expression is false. Now, when you have either one of the expression is true, it is still the other one is false, then the entire thing is false, because you are using an AND. Okay, so when you use an AND as the operator, comparison operator, all must be true, all the expression must be true, then only it can be true. If you have any of the expression that is false, then it will become false. So here 78, okay, is not less than 80, so this expression is false, and therefore the grade is not A minus. But if you like the score 90, sorry, what am I doing? Sorry, so let me just repeat again. Sorry. If your score is 78, the first expression here, 78 is greater than equal to 75, right? So the expression is true. The score 78 is less than 80, so the second expression also true, right? So both of the expression is true, then the condition for the entire thing is true, and therefore your grade is A minus. But if your score is 90, so 90 is greater than 75, the first expression is true. But 90 is not less than 80, so the second expression is false. So because there is an expression that is false, the entire thing becomes false, which means that the grade is not A minus. So if your score is 90, then your grade is not A minus. Now the other one, the next one, we look at this one, this symbol here, 2 pipe. Now this is what we call a pipe, right? 2 pipe. This stands for all, okay, all. So if your day is equal to Sunday, or the day is equal to Saturday, it is a weekend. Now here we use an or, it means that either one of the expression is true, then it's true already. That means, let's say if your day is Sunday, okay, so the first expression is true, right? It's Sunday, okay, but the second expression is false. True or false, it means true, so your condition is true, so it is the weekend. Now on the other hand, if your day is Saturday, so for Saturday your first expression is false. Your first expression is false because Saturday is not a Sunday, right? But if you look at the second expression, Saturday is equal to Saturday, so the second expression is true. So false or true, it is true. All right, it is true also, so it is a weekend. So either one of the expression, if they are false, if they are true, then the entire thing is true. So that is the OR operator. So now to make it false, that means both the expression must be false. So for the first expression, let's say Monday, so for Monday, the first expression is false. The second expression also false. Then the whole condition here is false. So it is not a weekend. Same goes to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay, if you check with this condition here, it is not a weekend. So this is what I call the truth table, right? So the truth table here, we check. Now let's say your expression 1 is true and your second expression is true. If you are using the logical AND operator, true and true is true. You see? So remember, if you are using the logical AND operator, both the expression must be true, then only it will be true. If you have either of the expression, if you have either one of the expression is false, for example here, the second expression is false, okay, then the result is false. And over here, the first expression is false, and therefore the result is false. Over here, both the expression, they are false. Definitely false already. Don't need to think anymore, right? False and false, definitely false. Using the OR logical operator, then you remember one thing. Either one of the expression. When either one of the expression is true, then it's true already. Okay? Don't have to think so much. So here, both the expression, they are true. So definitely true. Okay? But over here, we have the expression 1 is true. Expression 2 is false. Now we have one expression that is true. So it's true already. Okay? The third example, we also have the second expression is true. So the first, even though the first expression is false, then the condition is also true. Okay. Now for this example here, both expression 1 and expression 2, they are false. False or false, then it is false. So that is the use of the OR operator, you see. So for the OR operator, remember, either one, okay, it will be false only when both the expression, they are false. Okay, so false or false, then only you can get false. But for the AND operator, both the expression must be true, then only you can get true. Okay, if either one of the expression is false, then the result will be false. Okay, so remember this, yeah, remember this. That's the difference between the AND and also the OR logical operator. Then just like mathematics, we need to know about the order of precedence. Yeah, order of precedence. Okay, so for example, all the unary operators, yeah, the unary operators. What do you mean by unary operators? Unary operators means that there is only one. For example, not true, it is false. If I say not false, it's true. So this is a not, right? It's a unary operator. Okay, there's only one operand. So plus, I can say plus A. So that is your unary operator. Okay, so the unary operator, it will have the highest precedence. Yeah, the highest precedence. Multiply, divide, and modulus. These are the you have two operands. Okay, you have the left operand and then you have the right operand. Okay, same goes to the plus and minus. You have the left operand and you have the right operand. So therefore, both of these are not unary operators. Now, so the precedence, just like in your mathematics, compared to plus and minus. Okay. Now, both of these, okay, so this will be the second highest precedence, and this will be the third highest precedence, followed by the comparison less than, equal, greater than equal. Okay. Then followed by the equality comparison, equal to, and also not equal to, followed by and then followed by or, and finally that is your assignment operator. So assignment operator is the last, okay, in the precedence table. So the sequence will be from the highest precedence until the last, the least precedence. Okay, any questions up to here? If you all have any questions, okay, or any doubt, please turn on your mic and let me know, yeah. Now, so let us take a look at the example, okay. 11 greater than 5, or 6 less than 15, and 7 greater than equal to 8. So how can we check whether the entire the condition for this expression, is it true or is it false? So you must look back at the precedence rules. Okay, you must recall your precedence. So what did I say about the precedence just now? You look at this one, greater than an OR operator or less than the operator, the AND operator, and the greater equal to operator. Which one has the highest precedence, or which one has a higher precedence? You can equal, greater, greater, equal. They have a higher precedence compared to the OR operator. Therefore, the first step is for you to check the expression is 11. Is it 11 greater than 5? Is it true or not? So it's true, right? It's true. Then you check, is 6 less than 15? Is it true? Yeah, the condition is true, so it's true, right? And then we check for 7 greater than equal to 8. Is it true? No, it's not true. So it is false. So we have to do this first because this comparison operator has a higher precedence compared to the logical AND and logical OR operator. So after you have done the step 1, so you know that it is true or true and false, then only we will check for the logical operator. And you see, between the OR and the AND logical operator has a higher precedence compared to the OR logical operator. And therefore, you must check for the AND logical operator first. So true and false. Now remember, just now I mentioned, if you are using the AND logical operator, if either one is false, that means the condition is false. So it is false. So therefore, in your step 2, we now have true or false. Okay, true or false. So recall back just now I mentioned, if you are using the OR logical operator, either one is true, that means it's true. So here we have true or false. True because we have a true here. So the final result is true. Okay, next example. 6 multiply 2 less than 15 and 7 greater equal to 8. Can you all tell me, is this expression true or false? Okay, so first thing, we have to look at the precedence. So the precedence will say that we have to perform the multiply because the multiplication has got the highest precedence. So we do the multiply, 6 multiply 2. So the rest we
他要是你顾不到，我那边又顾不好，你两边你就哇，整个头脑会崩溃了。
So in step 1, the rest will be the same. So you see we have 11 plus 3 greater 5 or 6 plus. So we perform this one first because multiply has the highest, okay, precedence. So we do this, 6 multiply 2, which is 12. So that's why this is 12. So less than 15 and 7 greater than equal to 8. So we have done the first step, in which we perform 6 multiply 2. So now after you have done the first step, you look at the operator again, okay, and then you think about the precedent rules. So which one has the highest precedent rules? Okay, so you can see plus minus has the higher precedent rules compared to the less than equal, greater than equal. Okay, so we must perform the arithmetic operation first. The plus, which is 11 plus 3, which is 14. Okay, and we have the plus here. And yeah, that's it. So therefore, in step 2, now you have 14 greater than 5 or 18 less than 15 and 7 greater than equal to 8. So now look at all these operators here, greater or less than and greater than equal to. Which one has the highest precedence? Now, so again, you can see that this one, less than equal, greater than equal, they have the higher precedence compared to and OR. Okay, so you must perform this one first. You have to perform this first. So therefore you check 14 greater than 5. Is it true or false? Yeah, it's true. So true lah. Okay. 18 less than 15. Is it true or false? 18 is not less than 15, right? So the condition is false. So false. How about 7 greater than is not greater than 8? So again, it's false. So therefore, in step 3, we have true or false and false. Now we are left with the OR logical operator and the AND logical operator. Okay. So for the OR logical operator and for the AND logical operator, which one has a higher precedence? Okay, so if you recall, the AND logical operator has a higher precedence as compared to the OR logical operator. And therefore, we must perform the AND logical operator first. So false and false definitely is false. Okay, definitely is false already. Okay, so then in step 4, we have true or false. Now we check true or false. It is true because if any of the expression is true, then it is true. So therefore, true or false will give you true. And this is your final result. So for this example here, for this expression, you can see that the result is true. Okay, the result is true. All right. Okay, so with that knowledge, we can then look at the example of the of a simple program making use of selection. Yeah. So this simple program will determine the student's grade according to the marks that the student obtained. Now here you see in C++ and the other one is a Java. Okay. I'm not going to explain the Java program. I'll just explain the C++ because they are quite similar. Okay, they are quite similar. Now, if let's say the student's mark is, you run this program, okay, if you go through this if-else condition here, what grade will the student get? Who can tell me in the chat? Okay, so if you go through the condition here, all right, can you tell me what grade will this student get if the student's mark is 80 marks? Yeah, very good. So, okay. So let us look at the, okay, so let us assume our brain is the computer. Okay, because this is a C++ program already. This is not a pseudocode. This is a real program, a real C++ program that we can compile with the C++ compiler program file that we can run. Okay. Now, if you don't have a computer, then how? If you don't have a computer, you see, last time when I first learned computer programming, when I was in Form 2, at that time, I don't have a computer when I first joined the computer club. So then I will go to the computer club and then try out the program. Yes, I can do that. But at home, if I want to try to try out the program and I don't have a computer, then how? I assume that my brain is the computer. Okay, and I will run the program. I will go through this program with my brain. Yeah, inside my brain. Actually, our human brain is the best computer already. Now, there's no computer that can be better than our human brain, right? So if imagine that you are the computer, all right? Your brain is the computer, and you run this. You check. Your mark is 80, yeah? So 80 greater than equal to 0 and 80 less than 50. So you must first of all, so the precedent rule says that you must do the checking for this expression first, and also this expression. So 80 greater than equal to 0, true. 80 less than 50, false. Okay. So true and false is false. So if it is false, you will skip this. You will skip this, yeah? And then you go to the else if. Then the computer will check again. 80 greater than equal to 50. true. Okay, it's true. 80 less than 60, false. True and false, false. So because it's false, you skip this again. Okay, you skip. Then you look at you go to the else if. Else if here, 80 greater than equal to 60. Is it true? Yes. Less than 80? No, it's not. False. True and false is false. So you skip this one. Then you go to the else. Else here, is there any checking? You need to check for any condition? No, you don't need. So then you do this one. The grade is A grade. So when you do a C out, it will display that the grade is A. Yeah. So this is the program. Now let me run the program and show to you. Yeah. Remember how we can run the program in Visual Studio Code? Okay, I'll just copy the path. Okay, from here. Okay. Yeah. Hold on a second. Okay. So so we open the command prompt. Okay, we open the command prompt. Okay. So in the command prompt, we do a cd. Okay, we do a cd space, put in the path that we copied just now. Okay, path that we copied just now, and then we are inside the directory already. Then we apply the command code space dot. So this is a code space dot command here. So you can see we apply the command code space dot, press enter, and that will open for us the folder in Visual Studio Code. So inside Visual Studio Code, you can all the programs, the CPP program. So I'm going to show to you the first program example, sample one here. That is the checking. If let's say the student's mark is 80, right? Now, so when I run, I can put a breakpoint here. You can see I put a break dot. This break dot is a breakpoint, so I can actually execute the program and examine the code. Okay, as I execute it. So to execute the program, you can see there's a debug. Debug. You can see, in fact, you can see there's a bug here, right? There's a bug. So you know that this is for debugging. So last week we also mentioned about debugging. So you click on this, you will stop at a breakpoint. Okay, you will run your program and stop at the breakpoint. So let's wait. So we'll click on this one. Okay, so you can see the debug. So you stop at this break line 7. Okay, so now when we are in the line number 7, okay, you execute this. So you then to go to the next, to execute this statement and go to the next one, line number 8, you can press this one, step into. All right, then you can see that it goes to the next one. So now here we have the condition checking. Now before you actually execute line number 10, you can actually examine. Yeah, you can examine this code here and see whether the condition is it true or false. Yeah, so you can add to watch. Okay, for this one. So you can see here, it tells us that the condition is false. Yeah, it's false. Yeah. Okay, let me add this to the watch as well. Okay, I highlight like that, right click, and then I can say add to watch. Add to watch. So you can see here, you can add it to watch, but here you can't see the result, right? In the watch window. Yeah, you can see. All right, so you can see the expression. It gives you a false. Yeah. So mark greater than equal to 0 and mark less than 80 is false. Why? Because what is mark? Mark is 80. So in fact, I can add the variable mark in the watch window as well. Add to watch. You can see because the mark is 80, right? So the condition here is true, true and false. You get false. You can see here. This condition here, I add it to the watch and show to you. You can see that mark greater than 0 is true. Yeah. How about mark less than 50? So mark less than 50 is false. And therefore, true and false, the result is false. Okay. So if you know that the result is false, now if I press this button here, it will skip line 11 and go to line number 12. You see? So I press this button, this F11. You can see that you skip line number 11 and go to line number 12. So in line number 12, we will check is mark greater than 50. So you can see the condition. Let me add to the watch. You can see this true. How about mark less than 60? The entire thing. So true and false is false also. So the entire thing is false. Yeah. So because this is false, it will skip line number 13. Line number 13 will be skipped. So you can see then it will straight go to line 14. So you can see here, I click on this one, you go to line 14. So same thing, if you do the checking for this one, the condition for this expression here, you can see that the condition is false, and therefore you skip line number 15, okay, and go to the else. So in else, grade is set to A. Now, so I'm going to show add the watch for grade. You can see grade not yet. We have not executed line 17 yet. So you can see that the grade is still nothing. There's nothing inside the grade. Now, if I press F11 to execute line number 17, now you can see here, you can see grade is A. Okay, grade is A. Yeah, so your grade is A. So now, when you do a C out, that will display. C out will display in your output. So okay, so in your terminal, you can see that your grade is A. Okay, so you can see the grade A. So that's how when we execute this program, you can see how the program runs. Yeah, over here. So compared to just now, if you don't have a computer, I show to you how we can execute the program in our head, in our brain. Okay, so let me continue. Okay, for session 1, we have. Okay, let me see how many more slides I have. Sorry, there are quite a number of slides. Some more. Okay, until slide 53. Yeah. Okay, so I think I need to go a little bit faster now. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so this is one example. Next one, a simple program to determine the student grade according to marks. So here we do one more checking. Yeah, in front here, this is a nested if. You can see here we have an if statement. Inside the if statement, we have the if statement again. This is what we call a nested if. An if statement inside another if statement. So the first if, this the outer if statement. Yeah. Let me show you in Visual Studio Code. So the outer if statement. Okay. So you can see this outer if statement here is to check greater than 0 and the mark is less than 100. So if the condition is true, if this condition is true, then only it will go into line number 11. Okay. If the condition is false, it will skip line 11 until line 20. So if the condition is false, you skip this line 11 until line 20. Line 11 until line 20, this you can see there's a curly brace, open curly brace at line 11, and there is a closing curly brace at line 20. This is what we call a block. A block. Okay, so this is one block. So if the condition is false, you skip the entire block and then go to the else. Normally, when we have more than one statement, we can put them inside a block, inside this curly brace, when we have more than one statement. All right. So in fact, here we are putting all this in this block. Okay. So if the condition is false, you will skip the entire block and go to the else. So else in line 21, then you execute line 22, you will display invalid value. So therefore, you can see this outer if here is for us to check whether the value is invalid or not. Because obviously, very obvious, your mark cannot be less than 0, and your mark cannot be greater than 100. So if your mark is less than 0, or your mark is greater than 100, that will be an invalid mark, and therefore we will display the result invalid value. But let's say your mark is in the range. Your mark is greater than equal to 0, and also your mark is less than equal to 100. Then you will do this block here to do the checking whether the grade is it an A grade, B grade, C grade, or F grade, which I have explained just now. Yeah, this block. So let's say, for example, I say the mark is 1 here. Now let me debug. You can see I put a breakpoint here. So what I want to show to you is the expression here. Is it true or is it false? Okay, let me remove away all the expression that I put in just now. So now you can see because of the breakpoint here, you start at this breakpoint. Now I'm going to check for this expression. Yeah, for this expression. Add to the watch. And you can see that the expression gives me false. That means if I step into it, it will skip the entire block and go to line 21. Take a look. I click on this one. You see, it goes to line 22, right? Go to the else. So in the else, when I execute it, it will display the output. Because we use a cout, so it will display in the output invalid value. So you can see in the invalid value. Yeah, invalid value. But let's say your mark is not this one, but your mark is, let's say, 18. It's not 180, but 18. Then you can see the condition here is true. So I click this one to debug again. Okay, so you can see it start at the breakpoint. Okay, and you can see the condition is true. So because the condition is true, if I click on this one, step into, you will now go to line number 12. Okay, you enter the block, and stop at line number 12. Then you check for this expression to see is it true or false. So you can see this expression is false, therefore you skip line 11 and then go to 14 and check. So you can see you go to 14 and check for the expression. So you can see you'll continue to check for the expression, and eventually you see that, okay, it's false, you skip line 15. So then you check for this one, this expression in line 16, and you can see that it's false, so you skip 17, and then now you go to line number 19. So in line number 19, you assign the grade F, you assign the character F to the variable grade. So your variable grade is a char, it's defined as a char. That means we assign character. Yeah, we can assign character to the variable. So F is a character. Yeah. So you see the data type for variable grade is a char data type. A char data type means that you can only assign character, okay, character to the variable grade. In C++, character means you must enclose with single quote. You can see this is single quote. This is what we call single quote. Yeah. So you can see we have only one character enclosed with a single quote. Single quote. Okay. So we assign F to the variable grade. And then when you display the result, it will show to you F, the grade F. You can see here. in the terminal, you are able to see the result, which is F. Because you do a cout. Cout means to display the output. Okay, so this is how when we execute the program. Okay, next, let's continue with the PowerPoint slide. Switch. Okay, here we look at the switch statement. Now the switch statement, it make it cleaner lah, right? I would say it's cleaner because you see the expression. After the expression, we have this the condition here. So we check for the condition case where it is true, then we proceed with statement 1 and then break. Now remember, if you are using switch, when you encounter the true condition, you will execute all the statements for the true condition, and then you must do a break. You must have the end must be a break. But if the condition is false, then you proceed to check the next case. If the condition is false, you proceed to check the next case, okay, and so on until you reach the default case. Okay, default case. That means if you check the condition, if all the cases are false, at the end, definitely you must do the default case. Okay, you will perform the default case. That means you will execute the statement inside. Okay, so that's how the flowchart looks like. So for your program, you can see here we have our C++ program, the grade, if the grade is F, so we do a switch grade. Okay, then we check for the case capital A, case small a. Okay, so the condition here is false. Then you check the next case B or capital B, case small b. The condition is false, check for the next case. Okay, case capital C, case small c. Condition is false, then you check for the next case. Now when you look at the next case here, the checking here is true because it's a capital F, so it's true, right? Then you do the statement inside. You perform all the statements inside the case. So the statement inside the case is do a cout. That means it will display in your terminal or in your monitor 0 to 49. And then you do a break. Now you can see every case here. Remember, you look at this, every case, the last statement inside the block must be a break. It's a break statement. Now this is very important. Okay, this is very important. Let me tell you why is it so important, yeah, in the program example. Okay, let me show to you why is it so important. Now, so here, let me set the grade as a B, okay, B grade. Okay, then and see the result, what you'll get. So you expect to see 60 to 79. Okay, you expect to see this. Okay, let us check whether is it true or not. Okay, I will put a breakpoint here. So it'll start at my breakpoint. Click this debug button. Okay, so you can see it start the breakpoint here. The grade is B grade. Okay, B, small b, small b. Now move my mouse over. You can see here this small b, assign the character B to the variable grade. This 98 is what? 98 is the ASCII code. ASCII code. ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So that is the code that represents the small character B. Okay, that's the code that represents the small character B. So in fact, what is stored inside the computer memory for the value for the variable grade is actually the code 98. Then I press this button to step into the check. You can see here, you'll stop here because all these are not true. Okay, so only case B is true, right? So all these are not true, you stop at here. So then you do a output, cout. Then you are able to see in your terminal or in your monitor 60 to 79. Okay, so now you can see here, now we are in the line 17, which is the break statement. So if I execute it again, then you go to line 30. You will not check for the remaining cases anymore because you have done the break, you have executed the break. So you'll not check for other cases. Now in line number 30, and then that's the end of the program. So in your output, you'll be able to see 60 to 79. Now, just now I mentioned to you, what if I don't have the break? Okay. Okay, I will remark this line here, line number 17. I put a remark. That means I remark it. This is a remark. Double slash means remark. Remark means what? Means ask the computer not to execute this line, or you can just remove it like that. Delete it away lah. Okay. Okay, delete it away. So you can see here, I don't have the break statement. Now I want you to see carefully what will happen without the break statement. Yeah, the grade is still a B grade. Let me debug it. Okay, so you can see the program stop at the breakpoint at line number 8. I click the step into. Okay, so you can see it stopped here at line 16 because the case here is satisfied. Okay, it's a small b. So now it will display 60 to 79. So I step into again. And you can see that you stop at line number 19. It display already. Yeah, it display for you 60 to 79. Display already in your output. Yeah, window. And then now it start at line number 19. So why is it stopping at line number 19? Because you don't have the break. You don't have the break. So that's the importance of the break statement. Yeah. So when the condition is true, when your case is true, you execute the statement for the case. The end of it, you make sure you put in the break. If you don't put in the break, you'll go for other cases and execute the statement inside. Then your result, your program is no longer correct. You see, now I get two results. I get 60 to 79. Then the next line, I get 50 to 59. Now there's a break. You terminate. You terminate the switch. Go to return and end the program. But as you can see, your program now is not correct because it produced this incorrect result. This incorrect result, 50 to 59. Your result should be only 60 to 79. So that is why I want to bring your attention to, do not forget, as a beginner, right? As a newcomer, I know the tendency is to forget to put in this break. That is why I stress to you all the importance of the break statement. Okay. Let us continue with the PowerPoint slide. Next, we have below the if else and the switch. We compare them. When should you use if else and when should you use switch? So you can use if else for any in any situation, okay, in any conditions. All right, but you use switch only when there is a very clear choice, a single choice. You see, a single choice. Just now, as you can see in the example just now, there's only a single choice. But if you have a range of value, you cannot use switch. Now look at this example here. What do I mean by that? Now here we want to check for a range of value. The range is from the mark is greater than equal to 80. Yeah, there's a range. It can be 80, 81, 82, 83, 84. Right? There's a range. We want to check for the mark less than 100. Okay, 100, 99, 98, 97, 96. Yeah, range of value. So this is wrong. It is wrong to use the switch statement. Salah, 错，错，不可以用 switch. Okay, so you have to use in this scenario here, in this case, you must use the if else. But if else, like I mentioned to you just now, in any condition, any scenario, you can also make use of this if else. Iteration. Now we look at iteration, repetition. So remember in the morning, this morning when we begin this session, I asked you all to jump up and down, and down, and down. That is a repetition. So to do repetition, we have three ways of doing it: using the while loop, using the do while loop, and using the for loop. We are going to look at the difference between these three of them. Okay. And then we are also going to look at the break and the continue statement. Yeah, look at this. These are very important. These two statements here, the break and the continue statements. Okay, why are they so important? You'll see for yourself later. All right. Then you also have a nested loop, just like nested if. Nested loop means you have a loop inside another loop. Wow, this is a nested loop. If you have nested loop, you can do wonders. After I show to you how you can do some nice drawing by applying this nested loop. Yeah. So repetition, as I explained to you already, we are going to look at now. Without repetition, if you want to display this 10 times, you want to display welcome to NTU PC workshop, welcome to NTU PC workshop, 10 lines. You see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, you have to write 10 times, this line here. Okay, let me show to you the program code, example. Okay, see? You see this? You have to do it 10 times because program will execute sequentially. Now, let me put a breakpoint. You see, sequential. So just now, last week we talked about sequential execution, statement by statement. What do I mean by sequential execution, statement by statement? That means your program will execute one statement after another. All right, in the order. So you execute the statement in line 7. You can see here, I put a breakpoint here so that you start line 7. So then after I execute it, you can see the result here at your terminal. Welcome to NNS PC workshop. Then after that, now you're in line number 8. So if I click this one, you execute line number 8 here. Then it goes to line number 9. So in your output, you can see the result. Welcome to NNS PC workshop. So you can see it's in sequence, right? In sequence, you execute the statement in line 7, then execute the statement in line 8, then execute the statement in line number 9, then execute the statement in line number 10, and so on, one by one. And as it execute, because you're doing a C out, it will show to you in your computer terminal, in your monitor, the result, the output. So you can see it's one by one statement after another, then another statement until the program finish. All right, until the program finish. So that is a sequential execution. Sequential execution of the program, line by line. Yeah. Now, what we want to look at in this particular session is you can see that it's very troublesome. If you want to display 10 times, 10 of this, we have to do it. We put in 10 statements. Yeah. Troublesome. We don't want. Is there a way for us to shorten this? How can we further improve this program so that we don't have to repeat writing this code 10 times? Then we can make use of a loop. Okay, we can make use of the loop like that. Use a for loop. Okay, we can use a for loop. So with this for loop, you can see here. Okay, let me just clear my terminal first. Okay, with this for loop, with this for loop, it will loop. Okay, it will repeat to do this 10 times. Why is it you repeat to do this 10 times? Because here I declare the variable I is an integer variable, and then I assign the variable I with a value 1. So I start with 1. This is the initialization. This is the initialization part. This is what we call the initialization. So in your for loop, the first thing is we initialize the variable. After you have initialized the variable, then you will check the condition. You will check the condition. If the condition is true, then you can do the program inside the body of the for loop. Now, inside the for loop, the body of the for loop, I have only one statement. So I don't actually need to put it inside the curly brace. Okay, I don't have to use this curly brace. Remember just now I mentioned to you the curly brace? When we have more than one program statement, that is a block. We put them inside curly brace. But if you have only one single statement, you don't need to put in the curly brace. But if you want to put it in the curly brace, it's not wrong. It is not wrong for you to do this. Yeah, it is not wrong for you to do this. Now, I myself personally, I'm very particular on the indentation. So every time you see the program is not indented nicely, I'll just do a format document to indent my program nicely. So you can see it's nicely, beautifully indented. Yeah. Let me. So just now I mentioned if the condition is true, you go in the body of the for loop and execute the program. After executing this statement here, you go back to here, the for loop, but you perform this. This is what you call the incrementing. So we increment the variable I by 1. After you increment, you'll do the checking again. Okay, you'll check. for the condition. If the condition is true, then you go into the body of the for loop again, which is line number 9, and you execute line number 9. Okay, let me put the breakpoint here and show to you, okay, the running of the program. Now, okay, if I cannot finish all the slides here, all right, I will continue in the session 2, okay, afterward. So now, okay, so now you can see you start the for loop here, all right. So I'm going to put this step into and see what happens. So the first thing is initialize the variable I with the value 1. Let me check. Let me show to you. Put in the watch here for the expression I. So you can see here I is still 0 because we have not initialized the variable I with the value 1. Okay. Now I click this one, step into. So when I step into, you can see your I is 1, right? So the condition here is true. That's why you can come here. Let me put this in the watch also. Right? So you can see because of the condition is true, then you can come in and do this statement. All right. So when you do this statement, see out, your terminal will display for you this output. Your terminal will display for you the output. Okay. So now let me step into again. You can see now it goes back to line number 7. And you perform the I++, okay, the incrementing. So you can see if I click on step into, you can see that my I is now 2. The I now has the value 2 because it has performed the I++. I++, this is incrementing. It increment the value. It means that increment the value in I with 1. So I++ means I equal to I plus 1. All right. So just now you can see it's 1. Now I becomes 2. So you check for the condition is true again. Okay, it's true. So you come to line number 9 and execute this. So you can see you just keep on repeating. So now I is 3, the condition is true, and you go to line number 9. Okay, I is 4, the condition is true, and you go to line number 9. Okay, I is 5, the condition is true, and you go to line number 9. I is 6, condition is true, you go to line number 9. I is 7, condition is true, you go to line number 9. I is 8, condition is true, you go to line number 9. I has the value 9, condition is true, and you can go to the line number 9. I is 10, the condition is true, and you can go to line number 9. And then you can see here, the condition is false. When I is 11, yeah, the condition is false, and it terminates from the for loop. So it come out, and then it proceed to line number 12. Okay, so yeah, so we have five more minutes. So then we have to go back already to the main room. Let me just quickly just finish this up a little bit more. So here so here is another example where we have this. You can do this without a for loop, and then you can do it in using a repetition with a for loop. You can see that without a for loop, you have to declare the 5 variables because we need to ask the user to enter 5 numbers and add them up, all the 5 numbers. So if you don't use a for loop, you have to declare 5 variables, variable A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, and a variable total. So every time you ask the user to enter a number and you put in a variable A1. Then the second time you ask the user to enter a number and you assign to the variable A2 and so on. For the 5 numbers, add them up, put into the variable total, display the result of the 5 numbers added together that is inside the variable total. But then if you look at the for loop here, it's so much simpler already because now we only need to declare the variable A and the variable total. We ask the user inside the for loop, we repeat doing it for 5 times. Why is it we repeat doing it for 5 times? Because we want the user to enter 5 numbers. So every time we loop, we ask the user to enter a number. We keep the number in the variable A, and then we add the value inside the variable A into total. So the purpose of doing this, adding the value in the variable A into the variable total, is that the variable total is used to keep track of the addition of all the 5 numbers. Okay, the variable total is used to keep track of the addition of all the 5 numbers. So that's why it's total equal to total plus A. So after the 5 times it loop, then this for loop will terminate, and then you'll see the result, okay, for the value of the total. Let me show to you quickly the program here in the sample code, and then we'll finish this off, and then we'll go back to the main room, okay? Now this is without, okay, without this one, using the for loop. Okay, without using the for loop, you ask the user to enter the value for the number 5 times sequentially. You can see you execute the program in the sequential order. Okay, so please enter the value for number 1. So let's say I put 1, then 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you can see you sum up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sum them up, and tell you that the result of the addition of the 5 numbers, they are 15. Yeah. So if the next one we use for loop, if you are using for loop to do it, so this is how it looks like. This now I showed to you already. The execution of program, you can see that the output will be the same. Okay, you will still ask the user to enter the 5 numbers and then sum them up and display. You can see here, please enter the value for number 1. So it says 1, 2. Now, by the way, you can see here, this 1, 2, 3 here, please enter the value for number 1, please enter the value for number 2. It comes from the variable I. You see, please enter the value for number 1, number I. What is I? I depends on what is the value for the variable I in the for loop here. Because the first time it loop, I has the value 1. Second time it loop, I has the value 2. Third time it loop, I has the value 3, and so on. That is why you can see this number here changing from 1, 2, 3, and so on. Yeah. And then you can see the output of the result. Okay. So I demo to you up to here, repetition using a for loop. I will see you later this afternoon. Later today in session 2. Yeah. Now we go back to the main channel. Thank you. The main room. Thank you, class. Thank you.